All right, let's talk fabrics for our Secret Jeans trousers. The Secret Jeans trousers can work with a variety of woven, non-stretch, bottom weight fabrics. These ones I showed you earlier are made out of a linen blend. These are made out of a denim, which you're familiar with for any kind of jean you ever had. And both types of fabrics are suitable, and there are a bunch of other options too that I'll take you through just quickly. For starters, linen or a linen blend is a great option because this is a nice little sample and it has a nice drape and a nice little fluidity to it. It comes in every color you can imagine, and especially if you get a blend that has rayon in it, it won't wrinkle as badly as pure linen will. If you don't like that look, it's definitely a look. But if you get a blend, you'll get the look of linen without all of the ironing involved. So that's a top recommendation. I'd recommend you check that out. If you wanted to make something really dressy, you could use a suiting. This is for example, as a gabardine, which is like if you any kind of suit you ever had. This particular fabric has a nice texture to it, and it's got a nice sheen and a nice fluidity to it. It drapes nicely, and this sort of thing is also a really great choice. If you're daring and you want something that's very summery, you could try something like a seersucker, which is a woven fabric that has a texture to it by the way that the fabric is woven. And it would make a really cool summer weight pant or any kind of a cotton like this. Also a great option for if you're ready to stretch out and do something a little out there, a little exciting. Some other options that are for lightweight fabrics would be what I'm making the jeans for this video tutorial out of. And this is a twill. It's a rayon twill, and it's got a little, again, it has a little sheen and a nice drape to it, and that's a popular option. It's if you look closely, I think you can see, and I'll show you some other samples too. The twill has this diagonal weave to it, which is really nice because it gives you just a tiny bit of movement to it and texture that I think makes a pant look really, really nice. So that's a good option. If you wanted to go in a heavier twill, then this is an example of a basic twill. This is sort of a khaki kind of twill, like every kind of chinos you ever had. This, you can get it out of 100% cotton or a cotton blend, and that's a great option, inexpensive, available everywhere. Next, we'll talk about a couple of other twills. If you want to be daring, you could do something like this window pane plaid in a twill. If I hold that up, you can see the diagonal weave there. Something like that would be really cool. If you really want to get out there, you could even do a wool twill like this for a dress pant for cooler weather. All recommended. And now let's talk a little bit about denim. This is your denim that you've known your whole life, cotton, 100% cotton. This is the right side, looks like this. And the wrong side is lighter, and again, if you hold it up, you can see that twill type weave that denim has. This is a vintage denim, and it doesn't have any elastane or spandex or anything in it. And if you hold it up and you give it a little pull, you'll see that it has a tiny amount of stretch, and that just has to do with the weave of the fabric. As opposed to something that has like a stretchy material blended in with the cotton. So that's why we like jeans, and that's why they're super comfortable, is because they have that little bit of stretch. Nowadays, of course, you can get stretch denim, and so I'll take you through a couple of those options. If your denim has a tiny bit of stretch to it, certainly a mechanical stretch, which it's going to have anyway, or a tiny amount of stretch, it's okay, but something that's really stretchy is not really going to be suitable for these pants. So first I can show you my Secret Jeans trousers that I made out of denim. I made it out of this Japanese denim, and it's really pretty on the backside. It has sort of a silvery finish as opposed to a light blue finish, and it has a tiny bit of stretch. Again, just the mechanical stretch from the weave. And here's an example of a dark wash denim. This has a tiny bit of elastane in it. This is a cotton poly blend with a tiny amount of elastane, and you can see it stretches a little more, not that much. This is fine. This is totally suitable for these pants. So if you want a tiny bit of stretch, or if this is all you can find, as long as it just has just a little bit, it's okay. A couple of things that aren't suitable. This is a stretch denim, a pure stretch denim, and you can see how much it stretches. This is going to be way too stretchy for this pant. Have another pant in the works that this is perfect for, but this isn't it. Likewise, if you have something like this is a poplin pant, suiting type fabric, stretch, way too much stretch again for this type of pant. But if you have just a tiny bit of stretch, it's okay. The only other thing that you need for this pattern is some elastic. You'll recall that there's just elastic in the back, so I'll show you now what some of your elastic options are. To start off with, this is what's called a knitted elastic. It's pretty stretchy. It's pretty soft. You can mold it with your fingers pretty easily. And this is suitable for some of the lighter weight fabrics that you could make your pants out of. If you have trouble with feeling uncomfortable, if there's too much something elastic around your belly, some people have some sensitivity there, this might be a good option for you. Or you could even, if you wanted to, go a little lighter into more of a pajama type elastic. It's going to stretch more than this, and it's going to be softer, so it may not hold up as well, and you'll certainly need to make it a little tighter so your pants don't fall down, but that is also an option. But this is the knitted elastic. And next I'm going to show you, this is the braided elastic. You can see the texture is a little different compared to the knitted elastic. And it's also stretchy, but not nearly as stretchy. This stretches this much, and this stretches this much. So this one is the kind that I use most frequently for my secret jeans trousers that I make. So this is what I use to make those linen ones, and it's what I'm going to use to make the ones in this demo. And this is available anywhere that you can get elastic, and you'll want something that's an inch wide. These samples are all an inch wide, or 2.5 centimeters wide. The third option is what's called a no roll elastic, which has a texture to it. It's almost, you can really feel it's sort of ribbed, and this stretches the least of all three of these samples. This one is much stiffer, and it stretches the least. This is suitable for the heavier weight fabrics, your denim, or like a heavier twill or something like that. Or if you just want a lot of really firm hold and you want a little more structure on your waistband, I would recommend that you use a non-roll elastic. So again, it's a non-roll elastic, a braided elastic, or a knitted elastic are a few options. The next thing to cover quickly is just how much fabric you're going to want to use. Follow the chart that comes in your directions depending on the size and the width of your fabric. That'll dictate approximately how much fabric that you'll need to make your pants. And it also depends, you'll need a little more to make view B with the patch pockets than you will to make view A without them. And then how much elastic to use. This is another thing that's sort of a matter of personal preference. You'll need at least this much. What you want to do is take your half measurement, your back measurement, so from your side where your waistband's going to be, so like right around here, all the way around to the other side, and just make note of how many inches that is, or how many centimeters that is, and then remove 2 centimeters at least, 2 inches, or about 5 centimeters. So you'll end up with a length of elastic, and you can start here, and then I will show you during the fitting process for the pant when we put the elastic in. You may want to have a little more or less, but you'll probably want at least 2 inches less than your back measurement. And again, if you're not sure, cut it a little longer. Yeah, you may waste an inch or two of elastic, but that's not a big deal if you want to get the best fit. So now we're going to go over how to lay out your pattern on the fabric that you've chosen and how to cut all of the pieces out.